What's going on, everyone? Welcome. This is Discord Friday. Thank you guys for joining the channel and for joining Discord. And I appreciate everyone's patience as, it is kind of harder for me to keep up on Discord because there's so many people over there. So bear with me and private message me if you sincerely want your pictures out ASAP. I do scroll through every Thursday, Friday to just play catch up because with me working overtime and doing everything else that I do, I definitely put a lot of time into a little bit of everything. So I'm trying, guys. So if you guys want to do all this over here, I really appreciate it. Let's get to the first picture. All right, guys. So I think this is Jeremy. And the reason why I like this is because I have talked about this in the past and I believe you said these are open boxes, and it does look like they're open boxes because you can see like the packaging sticking out. Keep them together. All right, this goes for any open box that I always talk about in produce, especially produce, guys. There's so many open boxes in produce. Now, this is in the freezer, but still, stack them together because you know that each box is going to sit on the other one exactly where you need it to be. It's not going to be sitting inside of it. And then he took the opportunity to try to tie in the top layer, and then we threw a slip sheet up there to give us that more reassuring surface to build the rest of our pallet on. But I love how he keeps these open box columns stacked. You do not want to spread these around and have a bunch of open boxes to stack in. All right, guys, I posted this on Discord. These are two demos that we got. They're pretty similar. One's a Heister, and this one over here is a Yale. So basically, these are demos. They do this every once in a while. I know that they've talked about getting center riders in our warehouse. Let me know what you guys think if you have Heister or Yale center riders in your warehouse. Now, I noticed the Heister one has a little bit more floor space. The Yale seems like the floor space is a little bit smaller. But other than that, guys, we have never used these in our warehouse ever. So if you have these two name brands, Yale and Heister, let me know in the comment section below how these worked out for you. All right, guys, here's a dairy pallet. I love when I see a nice solid dairy pallet or any pallet for that matter. And I like to throw it on just to show everybody. Now, I believe this, I'm not going to guess who it is because I think it's Samuel, but I'm not 100% sure. And the sort of reason why I know is because this is in the same spot every time. This guy has his system, does it the same way every time. We got a bucket hiding in the middle, pointing cases in, just everything tied in nice and beautifully, topped off beautifully. Guys, and someone left it in the comment section on my last Discord Friday, and I 100% agree, and I've said this in the past, dairy is the easiest part to select in. All right, it beats out everything, in my opinion. I think it is so easy to stack dairy. So if you're starting in a dairy warehouse, you should be able to build like this after a little bit of time. All right, guys, and I did post this on Discord as well. I'm starting to sell on eBay. So if you guys want to follow me right here, you can go on there and click that and you can see everything I'm selling. It's going to grow over time. I'm going to be basically a buyer and reseller. I used to have a gift shop back in the day. We had a storefront, a gift shop. Then I moved on to selling at yard sales or not yard sales, flea markets. I sold at flea markets for quite some time. And this is just a little niche that I'm trying to get on the side, a little side thing going. So I am trying to make everything affordable. In my first 3 weeks, I sold 30 items and I'm so thrilled with that. I made a really good bit of money. So I'm very happy with what I am doing on eBay right now. So if you guys want to give me a, just check me out, follow me because you never know what I'm going to post. All right, guys, these next couple pictures I want to look at, I want to talk about breakers. Now, first of all, holy freaking high pallet, Batman. I mean, this is a big order. So this is what I say all the time. Now, a lot of people don't have the cube in their headset, but this is where I say, pay attention to your cube, because if I listen to my cube and I had 2 full pallets, I would not be using a breaker. And it looks like we're on solid cans, so I don't even think you needed the breaker unless someone lifted this on top of a back under, which is possible. Now that I look at it, it's all one item, so it's possible that you had this pallet lifted on top of a back under. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if you did. If that's the case, then go for it. Save that time, save your back. If a forklift lifted that up there for you. But other than that, I mean, your pallet looks solid. You wrap the crap out of it, which is, you have to. You know, in a big order like this, they're going to shift a lot. This part of your warehouse looks exactly like ours, so I know it. Even though it looks solid, it could still fall over because there's a lot of column stacking going on, and you really have no choice but to do that. So, I mean, you build a great looking pallet. Let me know about the, I want to know if a forklift put that up there for you. All right, this next breaker pallet, once again, guys, I told you I don't use breaker pallets, but there's two things I want to point out here. Is one, it looks like you have a whole layer of this, and I totally get why you put the breaker pallet on, because there's just way too many holes in these where you put a case on, it's rocking in. So I get the breaker pallet. I totally get it. I also want to comment on how you have a board missing here and you build to where the board was. I agree with that as well. Very nice looking pallet. You did a great job. I don't know if you're just trying to get rid of that slip sheet, so you topped it off with a slip sheet, but great looking pallet. All right, guys, another breaker pallet. Once again, you're on top of cans. I don't think you need the breaker pallet, but if it helps you, then so be it. And you used a piece of whitewood, which is great. You don't want to be... So, guys, when I start with my pallets, I preach all the time, blue and redwood, unless you have to use plastic. And then when you're using a breaker, I preach all the time, grab a piece of whitewood if you can, because it's a lot lighter and it's going to save a lot more stress on your lower back, lifting it up to put it on there. Make sure there's no nails sticking out where you're going to puncture the product. But you did great. We got a case up on end here, but zero pressure on it. This case, it looks like we're going to be okay. You know, you got enough weight on each corner that's holding the middle up, and you topped it off with your waters. You know, I like it. I think you did a really nice job with this. We got cases nice and spaced out on the base coming in. You know, really nice job. Thanks for posting your work. All right, this one right here, you were asking, is it okay to use a slip sheet? I wish you would have took pictures all the way around. I know you're kind of hugging the rack over here, but I'm just curious, like, what's going on over here. I don't know. How long are these boxes here? Because I would have liked to see these boxes come in, unless they're just as long as these ones. Is this frozen? I have no idea what this stuff is. I don't know. Yeah, it's okay to use slip sheets, but not with this huge gap right here, because all these cases are just leading into the gap. I just can't comment enough on this, because I don't know how big these boxes are going all the way around. I don't know if these boxes are the length of the pallet too, or if these ones are. If you can next time, try to get some side views and I'll help you out a little bit more. But slip sheets could definitely be beneficial, but it's hard to tell for me just looking at this picture. So if you have more pictures, post them on Discord and I will help you from there. All right, guys, another great looking pallet. I mean, we got ice cream on the bottom towards the front, save boxes in the back. We got some more ice cream, keeping like boxes together. We got boxes hanging into the gap, but not much. You know, guys, when you hang boxes into the gap, just make sure the majority of the case is on the solid part and not into the gap. And that's what we got here. Majority here, majority here, majority is on there. There's no rocking going on. So the way you did that, I love just wedging this case in here just to alleviate, you know, swaying back and forth, keeping two light cases together facing back, two cases facing in. I love it. I mean, you're keeping your light cases together. We're nice and square. We're tied in when we possibly could do it. I love it. You know, great looking pallet. Thank you for posting. All right, guys. So the last picture I want to look at is this one right here. And when I start going over this, please don't think I'm coming down on you, because I've seen this thousands of times. And it's always with new selectors. It's either with new selectors or the few that don't give a crap. I would imagine that you're a new selector. I want to say a few things here. One, it looks like you threw these bakery bags, because usually when bakery bags come off the pallet, they are tied in and we are column stacked. Take your time to column stack these bags if you're going to column stack them. Make sure they're nice and square and make sure they're on the pallet. Don't make sure that you're not losing your line is what I want to say. So you want to draw imaginary lines all the way up. You want to picture that full pallet going all the way up, and you want to be nice and square the whole way up. So make sure you're taking the time to make sure your base is everything. So make sure you're taking the time to throw these bags nicely on the pallet to make sure they're utilizing that whole pallet. See how we're missing over here? And then we walked in this smaller case. So what I like to do, if I only had 15 bags, I'm guessing, I'm either going to stack them in the front as 3. So I'm going to put one facing here with 2 facing in, and it's going to leave me the whole back of my pallet to start stacking all these boxes and buckets. You do not want to get in the habit of shrinking stuff as you grow, as you get up the pallet. You want to keep things nice and square, and you can't do that if you're not bringing your product all the way to the outside of the pallet. If you only have so many bags and you're throwing them, You're throwing them anyhow. Like I said, I will actually column stack them right up the front of my pallet. And then I will utilize all the boxes and everything and start backing. And then I will meet the bags and then tie in. I've done that a lot of times. So this is, maybe you're just trained poorly. I appreciate you taking the picture. Because it doesn't matter how much you wrap this, it could still tip over in the truck because it's so centered on top of these bags. Just take your time, make sure we're utilizing the full board, and keep that full board the whole way up your pallet, and I think you'll have a better result. The little bag here, I would have kept my nice big flat surface with the other bag. This little bag would have been up on my front corner somewhere and just tossed up to a higher level. That's what I would have done. I would have kept my nice big solid bags to stack on. If you're going to use it all as a base, keep your big bags to stack on, keep the nice big surfaces. This little bag here, I would have put it somewhere else. And if you only had one and you couldn't find anywhere to put it, and this is a one pallet order, stick it on your forks or stick it on your jack. That could easily fit on your jack and put it on at a later time. Because I would have much rather had these nice big bags. And don't be afraid to slap bags. So if you have a hump in the bag and it's leaning outwards and I'm getting all blurry, guys, ignore me when I get blurry. I hate this, but it is what it is. This freaking camera, I can only spend so much money. So let's just keep talking and hopefully I'll come back into focus. But yeah, just take care of the perimeter of the pallet and then bring all your product. Your product should have been all the way to the outside of this top bag right here. All the way to the outside of the top bag, all the way around. Just be mindful of that. Post some more pictures. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below or come over to Discord. All right, guys, that's the end of it. That last person, please instant message me on Discord if you need any further help. I will be more than happy to draw up diagrams if I have to help you. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you do want to help me and by supporting me, guys, I'm not saying you have to buy anything on eBay. Just come over. You never know. Yeah, I might have something over there that you guys might be interested in the future. So if you guys could follow me on eBay, I really appreciate it. That's it, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.